But then 2 years of sitting there and writing this book, all of these memories come flooding back, and I start to be able to piece it all together like a puzzle.
That's a very interesting choice of words, and is very telling, in my opinion. Harry says, 2 years of sitting there writing this book, all of these memories come flooding back, and I start to be able to piece it together like a puzzle. Why do I find that interesting? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So welcome back to my channel, but if you are new to me, I'm a barrister who helps you understand law. And in some cases, I dissect public stories such as the Harry and Meghan story, as I did the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp story, to give you my analytical view on the subject. Now, in this particular case, the choice of words, he said he could start to be able to piece it together like a puzzle. I.e., he could piece together his memory of the events of what happened like a jigsaw puzzle. Why do I find that interesting? Well, there's a book which I will link in the description below. It's an affiliate link, but they all are. But this book in particular, it's not sponsored by the way, but this book in particular was very interesting in that it talks about the science of memory, which I, as a barrister, find particularly interesting, because it speaks of the new science and the consensus of how cognitive scientists now seem to think we construct and recall our memory of given events. So just to recap the words of Prince Harry in this segment, he says, 2 years of sitting there writing this book, all of these memories come flooding back, and I start to be able to piece it together like a puzzle. Now, as I said, I'm going to link this book in the description below, but essentially I can do no better than to read out the description, the synopsis of this book on the Amazon website. It says, memory is an essential part of who we are. But what are memories and how are they created? A new consensus is emerging among cognitive scientists. Rather than possessing a particular memory from our past, like a snapshot, we construct it anew each time we are called upon to remember. Let's pause to think about that for a moment. This theory suggests that the memories don't exist as a snapshot perfect picture inside your head. Rather, when you are asked to call upon a particular event, time, date, conversation, or so on, you recreate this, you construct this memory within your mind in order to retell this event each and every time you are called upon to remember said event. And the book is called Pieces of Light, the Science of New Memory. That's why these particular words struck a chord with me when I was watching that segment, and I thought that I should do this video to introduce you to this book. It's a fantastic book on understanding memory, which I find fascinating as a barrister, someone whose profession it is to call upon and to get other people to recall their memory to recreate those events as accurately as possible. Going on with the description, it says, remembering is an act of narrative as much as is the product of a neurological process. Pieces of Light illuminates this theory through a collection of human stories, each illustrating a facet of memory's complex synergy of cognitive and neurological functions. Drawing on case studies, personal experience, and the latest research, Charles Ferriot delves into the memories of the very young and very old, and explores how amnesia and trauma can affect how we view the past. So I can urge you to check out this book in the description below. It's a very cheap book for the value that you get from it. As I said, it's not a sponsored video, but I suggest that you might want to think about the whole narrative put out by Harry and Meghan in this whole docu-series, which I'm going to dissect piece by piece as I find inconsistencies. And I thought, what better way than to start with this? The description of Harry recalling these events to write, or at least dictate for a ghostwriter to write this book, and the description that he has of how he pieced together the memories. As he put it, he was able to piece together like a puzzle. And that struck a memory with me, ironically enough, of this book, Pieces of Light. I hope you will enjoy the book. I certainly did. It's a fascinating read on how scientists now believe that we construct memory. Now, why is this important? Because when we go to court, as barristers, as witnesses, we, the barristers, are asked to ask you, the witnesses, to reconstruct events as they happened, as a factual account, as your evidence in court. Now, in civil cases and broadly in family cases, although there's an exception with family cases, but broadly speaking, your written evidence stands as your primary evidence. This is mainly not for the reason that you might think. The main reason you might think might be so that it's more accurate and so on. That's part of the reason, but the main part of the reason is to save time. In civil cases, the burden of proof and the standard of proof is lower. Therefore, the written witness statement is taken as your evidence in chief. You are thereby cross-examined, tested on your evidence in chief, your primary evidence, which is your written account, your written witness statement of the evidence that you've given to the court. However, in criminal cases, because the standard of proof is higher, it is beyond a reasonable doubt, or so that the jury is sure as against on the balance of probabilities, as civil and family cases are decided. With criminal cases, the standard of proof is higher. Therefore, we believe as a legal system that the jury should hear the evidence firsthand from the witness, live from the witness box. Therefore, the evidence is given live. It's elicited live by the barrister to tell their story in the witness box from their memory. There is the opportunity to memory refresh. That needs to meet a certain legal test, which law students will be familiar with, I would hope. And if not, I'm about to refresh your memory on the memory refreshing procedure, pun intended. If you want to refresh your witness's memory from their witness statement, the legal test is as follows. You must first introduce that the witness has a written account of their evidence that was given beforehand. You must establish that that is, in fact, their witness statement signed by them, and they confirm that that's a true and accurate account of events as it happened when they first gave that witness statement. The first part of that test, of course, being that they've made and verified this statement at an earlier time. The second part of that test is that their memory must be significantly better at the time that statement was made than it is now. So the test put to the witness would be that they can agree that their memory is likely to be significantly better when they made that statement than at the moment of giving evidence. If that test is satisfied, the judge will permit that witness to refresh their memory from their original witness statement. However, then, of course, you are cross-examined on that witness statement. Your memory is tested on that witness statement. The cross-examining barrister may go back and forth and test whether your recollection is the same, no matter which order of events the barrister questions you upon. And if, of course, the barrister finds inconsistencies in that witness statement, the barrister will then cross-examine you upon the inconsistencies of previous inconsistent statements. These might be written statements. They might be any statement that you've made to any person in authority, or in fact, any statement you've made previously at all. If what you say in court differs from what you've said previously, that will be put to you as an inconsistent statement, and your credibility is challenged and tested. And those inconsistencies and that damage to your credibility of evidence is going to be put to the jury as to why you should not be believed. But all of this, I say, should be taken with consideration, with special consideration, to the way that this was phrased by Prince Harry when recalling the writing of this book, to say that when he sat down and spent 2 years to write this book, those memories came flooding back. He was able to piece it together like a puzzle. As the new science now suggests, maybe a reconstruction of that memory each and every time you attempt to recall it. So I hope you found that interesting as a precursor to some analysis that I will bring to various parts of this story, various parts of his memoirs, various parts of the docu-series, and I hope you enjoy it. So please make sure you subscribe to receive those future videos, to see the analysis from a completely neutral, objective standpoint, and invite you to come to your own conclusions based on the analysis that I give. In the meantime, make sure you smash the like button, and thank you for watching.